next 1 hour, we'll bring you all the stories and updates from India and the world. We will update you about the happenings in the world of business and sports, and we'll get you some interesting stories that are making headlines. But first up, the big news at this hour. In a statement to both houses of parliament, Union Health Minister Dr. Vardhan says the government is taking all necessary steps to curb the spread of coronavirus as the number of positive cases rise to 29. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is personally monitoring the preparedness, he says. Health Minister says India is in touch with Iran on possible evacuation of Indian pilgrims and students stuck there. Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar says medical team arrives in Iran for screening. Coronavirus spread slows down in China but worsens in Italy as death toll in Italy mounts to 107. Italy shuts all schools for the next 15 days. Saudi Arabia suspends Mecca pilgrimage. German carrier Lufthansa grounds 150 flights due to corona threat. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval addresses the third Young Superintendents of Police Conference. Says lawmaking is the most sacrosanct job in democracy, and if the law is not enforced, then democracy fails. In U.S. presidential race, billionaire Michael Bloomberg withdraws his Democratic candidature in favor of frontrunner Joe Biden. Biden races ahead of his closest rival Bernie Sanders after the Super Tuesday results. And in cricket, in the Women T20 World Cup, India qualifies for the final by virtue of finishing higher on the points table as rain washes off the semi-final against England, hosts Australia to take on South Africa in another semi-final. Our top focus this afternoon: amid coronavirus scare in India with confirmed cases of infections rising to 29, Union Health Minister Dr. Vardhan said that there was no need to panic, while adding that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is personally monitoring the situation. Briefing both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha on coronavirus outbreak and how it has impacted India, Union Health Minister Vardhan said that the situation is being monitored by the Health Ministry as well as by the Prime Minister on a daily basis.
In our country, as on 4th March, a total of 29 positive cases have been reported so far. Of these, 3 cases were reported in Kerala earlier, who have since recovered and have been discharged already. Since last 3 days, new travel-related cases have tested positive. These include one in Delhi having travel history of Italy, and Telangana having travel history from Dubai and contact history from person from Singapore. Both are clinically stable. 6 more cases have tested positive in Agra, Uttar Pradesh, having contact history with the case in Delhi. Required action as per cluster management plan has been initiated. Further, an Italian tourist and his wife have tested positive in Rajasthan. 14 other accompanying tourists in this group and their Indian bus driver tested positive on their return to Delhi. All of them are reported to be stable. A recent positive case has also been reported in Delhi yesterday, having travel history from Italy and is stable.
The Health Minister also said that India is in touch with Iran on possible evacuation of Indian pilgrims and students stuck in coronavirus nation.
Another major area of concern is Indian pilgrims and students stranded in Tehran and Qom, Iran, epicenters of the Iran COVID-19 outbreak. Government of India is following up with Iran authorities for their well-being and to tie up evacuation as per need. In addition to manage travel-related cases, additional challenge is to contain clusters due to local transmission that requires highly resource-intensive containment operations.
So let's now understand in greater detail government's preparedness and response on novel coronavirus. Here's what the Health Minister said. He said that there are 29 confirmed cases of COVID-19 detected in India, including the 3 in Kerala who were diagnosed, they were treated and they've been discharged as well. But there are 23 new cases. Prime Minister is personally monitoring response and preparedness. We are aware how the Prime Minister's office is seized of the situation and there is daily review that is taking place even at that level. Indians are advised to refrain from travelling to affected countries. That's been the constant refrain of the Government of India that was reiterated by Health Minister Dr. Vardhan in both houses of Parliament today. Universal screening at all international airports. Now, this is a new measure that has been taken by the government because earlier screening was restricted to around 8 to 9 airports, but now there is universal screening of all incoming passengers from overseas to India. And screening initiated in 12 major seaports and 65 minor ports as well. So a lot of the ports have been covered as a result of that. Mandatory filing of declaration forms by air travelers, and there you need to give information with regard to your address, your phone number, your travel history, and if you are traveling from other countries to India, you need to mandatorily fill up this declaration form, and this helps the authorities to get to you in order to ensure contact tracing. Screening at all integrated checkposts on land borders as well. So all the transit points are being screened in a sense, from the airports to ports to land transit points as well. 24-hour control room is operational, and after that we'll tell you the helpline number on which more than 9,000 calls have been received. So there is a 24-hour operational control room. The call center number is 011-2397-8046. So on this number, more than 9,000 calls of distress, asking for help, asking for information have already been made on novel coronavirus. And a containment action plan for all states. So the centre has prepared a containment action plan for all states, and it's been shared with all states as well, and that is being executed by various states. Besides that, there is a lot of focus on states, districts, villages. Going downwards, we'll tell you how district collector is the nodal officer at the district level. So there is a decentralized approach, not a centralized approach, but a decentralized one on tackling novel coronavirus. States to form rapid response teams. So there is a lot of focus on how states are tackling the problem. There is assistance, there is monitoring, there's policy making being done at the central level, but a lot of work is going on at the state level and further down at the district, block and village level. Sufficient isolation beds have been made available at tertiary facilities, so attempts are being made to ensure that there is adequate medical or health care being meted out to various patients. Exports of masks and personal protective equipments has been restricted so as to ensure that there is no lack of masks here, and that these masks are really available in good numbers, so as to ensure that there is no scarcity here. This measure has been taken of imposing some needed export restrictions at this stage. More labs are being prepared to test samples. So there is the NIV in Pune, which is the premier lab, which is the nodal laboratory, so to say, where most of the tests are taking place, but other labs are also being prepared. Some are also functional. Communication material being disseminated in regional languages in states. So focus is on ensuring last mile connectivity and last mile communication as well, so that the last man in the queue is aware of the dangers or the risks posed at this point in time by novel coronavirus and is prepared to deal with that with do's and don'ts information that is being disseminated by the Government of India and by various state and district authorities, even at the Gram Sabha level for that matter. Government is in touch with Iran government on need for evacuation. So you heard Health Minister say that, and now you'll say S. Jaishankar, India's External Affairs Minister, speak on what the Government of India is doing in terms of reaching out to Indian pilgrims and students who are stranded in Iran and would like to return back to their country. So giving an update for Indians stranded in Iran and for, let's move it up, their families, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said that our medical team for screening arrives in Iran today. Hope to establish first cleaning at Qom by this evening. Screening process will start immediately thereafter, working on logistics of return with Iranian authorities. So that's the tweet put out by Dr. S. Jaishankar. So India is considering evacuation from Iran as well. Remember, there have been 4 flights aimed at evacuation that have already gone, 3 to Wuhan and 1 to bring Indians from on board Diamond Princess off the coast of Japan, and now perhaps preparation is underway for a fifth flight that could well go to Iran. We don't know as yet, but indications are that that might happen sooner than later. We are now joined by correspondent Shailendra Mishra, who is joining us from Parliament. Shailendra has been monitoring parliamentary proceedings. Shailendra, if you can hear me, we saw how a comprehensive list of measures were announced by Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan in both houses of Parliament. He gave a comprehensive idea of the kind of initiatives that the government has taken. It is important to underline here, isn't it, that the government is reviewing the situation regularly, in fact on a daily level, perhaps in a matter of hours the review is taking place, and new initiatives have been taken, and the newest one being that now there will be screening at all international airports of all international passengers, isn't it?
बिल्कुल तमाम जो उपाय किए गए हैं उसकी विस्तार से जानकारी दी राज्यसभा और लोकसभा में स्वास्थ्य मंत्री हर्षवर्धन ने, और यहाँ तक कहा कि WHO की जो वार्निंग है उससे कहीं पहले भारत ने एक तरह से रोकथाम के लिए और तमाम जो फौरी उपाय हैं वो शुरू कर दिए गए थे, और व्यापक स्तर पर कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं इसको लेकर। और खुद प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी, कैबिनेट सेक्रेटरी और स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय लगातार इस पूरी तैयारी की मॉनिटरिंग कर रहा था। तो दरअसल अब इस बात की कोशिश की जा रही है, स्वास्थ्य मंत्री ने जिस बात को विस्तार से बताया संसद के दोनों सदनों में कि किस तरह से जो तैयारियां हैं उनको और एक तरह से विस्तार दिया जाए, और यही वजह है कि सभी जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय फ्लाइट्स हैं उनमें जांच की बात कही गई है, और इस तरह के तमाम जो कदम एहतियात जो बरतने की जो है बात आज संसद में अपने बयान के दौरान स्वास्थ्य मंत्री ने इस बात की जानकारी दी। हमने देखा कि स्वास्थ्य मंत्री के बयान के बाद तमाम सदस्यों ने राज्यसभा और लोकसभा में अपने सुझाव रखे, अपनी चिंताएं सामने रखी, और साथ ही साथ सरकार का एक तरह से धन्यवाद भी दिया और सराहना भी की कि जिस तरह से त्वरित कदम उठाए गए हैं। कई सांसदों ने अपनी राज्य सरकारों की तरफ से ये कहा कि केंद्र सरकार के साथ मिलकर राज्य सरकार उनकी आगे काम कर रही है, और कोशिश इस बात को लेकर है। पहली बात ये कि पूरे एक तरह से इंतजाम किए जाए, लोगों को जानकारी हो, और दूसरी बात ये कि भय का कोई माहौल न हो, इस तरह कोई ऐसा माहौल न हो, जानकारी जरूर हो, और उसको लेकर पूरी उपाय किए जा रहे हैं, और ये जानकारी लोगों तक पहुंचनी चाहिए किस तरह से इसका बचाव या किस तरह से इसे फैलने से रोका जा सकता है।
Coming on that, on the issue of risk communication material, today the health minister said that we are ensuring that there is this communication material in regional languages and it is being disseminated to states. So are people getting to learn about novel coronavirus do's and don'ts in their regional languages, and is that information campaign being successful according to you?
देखिए, प्रयास ये किया जा रहा है कि सीधे ग्राम पंचायत स्तर तक भी इस बात की पूरी जानकारी पहुंचे, और इसको लेकर जो एक अवेयरनेस कैंपेन है वो चलाई जाए, और यही वजह है कि अलग अलग भाषाओं में जो कैंपेन मटेरियल है, जो क्या किया जाना चाहिए रोकथाम के लिए, बचाव के लिए क्या उपाय किए जाना चाहिए, वो न केवल हिंदी अंग्रेजी बल्कि तमाम स्थानीय भाषाओं में उसका एक प्रचार प्रसार किया जाना, और साथ ही साथ पंचायत स्तर पर भी किस तरह से अवेयरनेस फैलाई जा सकती है उस ओर भी ध्यान दिया जा रहा है। तो निश्चित तौर पर एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण, हम जानते हैं कि इस मामले में ये है कि लोग जाने कि क्या ये वायरस है, आखिर इसके किस तरह से इससे बचाव किया जा सकता है, और साथ ही साथ घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है। तो इन सब को लेकर दरअसल एक पूरा व्यापक प्रचार तंत्र एक तरह से बनाया गया। हम जानते हैं कि इंफॉर्मेशन ब्रॉडकास्टिंग मिनिस्ट्री की तरफ से एडवाइजरी भी जारी की गई है, टीवी चैनलों को लेकर, सैटेलाइट चैनल्स को लेकर, FM रेडियो, ऑल इंडिया रेडियो, इन सब पर प्रचार को लेकर एक व्यापक दिशा निर्देश भी जारी किए गए हैं। तो निश्चित तौर पर कोशिश यही है कि दूरदराज के इलाकों में, ग्रामीण इलाकों में, शहरों के साथ साथ उन इलाकों में जहां पर सूचनाएं उतनी तेजी से और उतनी फास्ट कह सकते हैं नहीं पहुंचती हैं, वहां पर भी लोग अवेयर हों और इस कोरोना वायरस के बारे में अच्छी तरीके से जाने, और इसके रोकथाम और बचाव के लिए जो तमाम उपाय बताए जा रहे हैं उनको अच्छी तरह से उस बारे में समझ लें। और साथ ही साथ जो एक तरह से कोई ये भय को लेकर कोई ऐसा माहौल न बने, चूंकि तमाम जो कदम उठाए गए हैं उस बात को स्पष्ट किया गया कि किस तरह से ये सुनिश्चित करने की कोशिश की जा रही है कि 29 मामले जरूर सामने आए हैं 4 मार्च तक, लेकिन ये जरूर कोशिश की जा रही है कि तमाम जो एहतियाती उपाय हैं उनके जरिए दरअसल लोगों को ये बताया जाए कि घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस एहतियात बरतने की जरूरत है। तो यही आज पूरा एक तरह से कह सकते हैं कि विस्तार से स्वास्थ्य मंत्री ने दोनों सदनों में जानकारी दी और साथ ही साथ बहुत महत्वपूर्ण जो सुझाव आए इस बात को लेकर कि मास्क की उपलब्धता हो, जो एयरलाइन है वो सभी यात्रियों को मास्क उपलब्ध कराए, खासतौर पर सैनिटाइजर या फिर मास्क की जो बाजारों में जो कीमत है वो बढ़ने न पाए, जरूरी जो मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट है या जो मेडिकल दवाएं हैं उनके दाम न बढ़ने पाए, इस तरह के तमाम सुझाव भी संसद के दोनों सदनों में जब स्वास्थ्य मंत्री का बयान खत्म हुआ उसके बाद सदस्यों ने रखे। तो निश्चित तौर पर एक तरह से कह सकते हैं कि स्वास्थ्य मंत्री के बयान के दौरान और उसके बाद संसद के दोनों सदनों में इस अहम मुद्दे पर तमाम सदस्यों ने अपनी राय भी रखी। जी,
Absolutely. So there were recommendations or suggestions that were made from both sides, really, from the Treasury benches as well as the opposition benches on this, and the government was receptive to the suggestions that were made. Thank you, Shailendra, for those inputs from the Parliament on what transpired as far as coronavirus is concerned in both houses of Parliament, where the Health Minister spoke. Special Health Secretary Sanjeev Kumar has said that universal screening has been mandated since yesterday evening in most of the airports across the country, adding that states have been asked to form rapid response teams to curb the potential spread of coronavirus. Listen in.
Universal screening has been mandated since 4th March 2020, that is yesterday, and has started in most airports from yesterday evening itself. It should stabilize today with additional staff being provided by the states. It has been decided to actively involve district collectors, and states have been asked to form rapid response teams. Shall also be engaged for COVID-19 management.
And our correspondent Kumar Alok is now joining us for more on this. Kumar Alok, we heard the Special Health Secretary speak about how states and districts have been roped in this fight against novel coronavirus. So take us through the decentralized approach that is being followed, and how forthcoming have districts, blocks, villages, gram sabhas, states been in joining hands with the centre in the fight against novel coronavirus?
देखिए, स्पेशल सेक्रेटरी ने सवेरे ब्रीफिंग की थी लगभग 12 बजे करीब में। तब उन्होंने बताया था, तफसील से बताया कि किस तरीके से स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय काम कर रहा है, और खासकर डिस्ट्रिक्ट जो मजिस्ट्रेट्स हैं पूरे देश के उनको अलर्ट किया गया है और उनकी सहायता ली जा रही है। और विलेजेस में, खासकर सुदूर क्षेत्रों में ये बीमारी या ये वायरस का प्रकोप न फैले, इसके लिए पूरे प्रयास किए जा रहे हैं। जन जागरूकता अभियान चलाया जा रहा है और वहाँ की जो रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस हैं स्टेट्स के, उस रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस में जन जागरूकता अभियान चलाया जा रहा है। इसके अलावा जो एयरपोर्ट्स है या बंदरगाह है, छोटे बंदरगाह है चाहे बड़े बंदरगाह हैं, उनकी स्क्रीनिंग की जा रही है पूरे देश में। और अभी तक जो 29 मामले सामने आए हैं, हालांकि वहाँ केरला में 3 जो सस्पेक्ट थे उनको डिस्चार्ज कर दिया गया है। इसके अलावा देश के अंदर, मैं सवेरे जब राम मनोहर लोहिया हॉस्पिटल में था तो वहां पर जब मैंने देखा, मेडिसिन विभाग में जाके हमने देखा, जो जहां पे हल्की बुखार या ज्यादा बुखार से लोग पीड़ित थे या कै दस्त या उल्टी उनको आ रही थी, तो वहां पर भी नॉर्मल बुखार को भी डॉक्टर एक इंपॉर्टेंट मान के चल रहे हैं कि कहीं ऐसा न हो कि उनके शरीर में भी कोरोना वायरस का फैलाव हो। लेकिन पैनिक होने की आवश्यकता नहीं, ये प्रधानमंत्री भी अपने ट्वीट में कह चुके हैं। स्वास्थ्य मंत्री ने भी आज संसद के दोनों सदनों में बयान जारी किया इस मामले को लेकर के। पैनिक होने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस छोटे छोटे जो उपाय हैं उसको पालन करने की आवश्यकता है, उस सावधान रहने की हमको आवश्यकता है। जैसे हैंडशेक नहीं करना है हमको अगर हम थूकते हैं कहीं पर, अगर हम थूक रहे हैं तो उसमें 1 मीटर तक जो उसका वायरस है या वायरस के जो पार्टिकल्स है वो आपको इफेक्ट कर सकते हैं। तो ये चीजें ना करें सार्वजनिक स्थानों पर। अगर हम खांस रहे हैं तो खांसने के समय हम रुमाल का प्रयोग करें, और रुमाल के प्रयोग करने के बाद फिर हम हैंड वॉश करें। हैंड वॉश के अलावा जो मॉब है, यानी भीड़ भाड़ का जो क्षेत्र है, भीड़ भाड़ के क्षेत्र से हमको बचने की जरूरत है। तो ये जो तमाम चीजें हैं, छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं, उनको पालन करने की आवश्यकता है।
Kumara, look, what did the Special Health Secretary really say on the availability of medical equipment in hospitals and whether beds are sufficiently available to deal with such cases? Also about availability of masks, because we understand that export restrictions have already been put in place. So what's being done to ensure adequate availability of all these medical equipments and beds, etc.?
देखिए, जहां तक मास्क की बात है तो मास्क की कहीं से ये कई खबरें आ रही है कि दिल्ली जैसे बड़े शहरों में ब्लैक मार्केटिंग हो रही है मास्क की, लेकिन हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी ने ये साफ कहा कि कोई कमी नहीं है, इक्विपमेंट की कमी नहीं है। लगातार जो टेस्ट जो सेंटर है वो खोले जा रहे हैं। लगभग 50 से ऊपर टेस्ट सेंटर यहाँ पर लैब स्थापित किया गया है ताकि किसी भी तरीके के सस्पेक्ट हो तो उसका इलाज हो सके। अभी तक 3542 सैंपल्स को जांच के लिए भेजा गया था जो विभिन्न लैब से इंडिया के अंदर, तो वहां पर जो उसमें 29 में पॉजिटिव आया था। इसके अलावा 90 और सैंपल्स गए हैं जिनका अभी परिणाम आना बाकी है कि उसके अंदर 90 सैंपल्स में क्या है क्या नहीं है, पॉजिटिव है या निगेटिव है। तो अपनी ओर से इक्विपमेंट की जहां तक बात करें, डॉक्टरों की जहां बात करें, मेडिकल टीम की हम बात करें, तो उसको लेकर के कोई अपनी ओर से सरकार पूरी भरसक प्रयास कर रही है, राज्यों के साथ सहयोग कर रही है। स्टेट गवर्नमेंट भी उनका कोऑपरेट कर रही है केंद्र सरकार का, और केंद्र सरकार ने स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को यह भी अश्योर्ड किया है कि कोई कमी नहीं रहने दी जाएगी। इक्विपमेंट की बात हो या लैब स्थापना की बात हो, उसमें कोई परेशानी नहीं होने दी जाएगी। और खासकर जो ग्रुप ऑफ मिनिस्टर बनाया गया है जिसके हेड है हेल्थ मिनिस्टर हेड है, तो उसमें आप होम मिनिस्ट्री काम कर रही है, साथ में विदेश मंत्रालय साथ में काम कर रहा है, नागरिक उड्डयन जो मंत्रालय है वो काम कर रहा है, पोर्ट मंत्रालय काम कर, शिपिंग जो मंत्रालय है वो काम कर रहा है। तो ये सारे विभाग मिलकर के इस चुनौती से निपटने के लिए अपनी ओर से भरपूर प्रयास कर रहे हैं, हर संभव प्रयास कर रहे हैं, और सरकार की ओर से कोई कमी नहीं है। कोई किसी भी तरह की जो भी अगर स्टेट डिमांड कर रहा है तो उसको पूर्ति करने की पूरी कोशिश की जा रही है। और खासकर हम ईरान की अगर हम बात करें तो ईरान में भी लैब स्थापना की बात कही जा रही है। वहां पर 4 वैज्ञानिक ऑलरेडी भेज दिए गए हैं, और वहां कम से कम 1200 स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिनको संभावना वो या उनको पहले तो उनकी जांच की जाएगी और जांच के बाद उनको वहां से लाने का प्रयास किया जाएगा सरकार के द्वारा। तो सरकार इसको इस मुद्दे को बहुत ही युद्ध स्तर पर ले रही है और अपनी ओर से कोई कोर कसर छोड़ नहीं रही है।
Absolutely. So efforts are on at war footing to combat novel coronavirus in India, and focuses on getting Indians who are there in Iran back after establishing testing facility there. Well, thank you, Kumara Lok, for those updates. Well, now let's go across to where Union Minister of Women and Child Development, Smriti Irani, is set to release a book on success of Beti Bachao Beti Padhao initiative.
Not only of district administration, but a nation that is united for the cause of the girl child. During the discussions with some distinguished guests, the Secretary highlighted our achievement for the National Girl Child Day. When has ever before in the history of our country an opportunity come by where 3 crore 90 lakh citizens come together to celebrate the National Girl Child Day? The fact that in 2020 we began the year on this auspicious note gives us reason to hope that we will do better in this decade, a decade which I hope becomes the decade of Indian women and the Indian girl child. I would extend my grateful thanks to agencies like UNICEF, UN Women, who on this stage today have acknowledged the contribution of not only the government but also the nation with regards to development of the girl child and strengthening the cause of women. There are some aspects which have been highlighted in the deliberation on which I would like to give a few views if the audience permits. We all have spoken on this dais about participation of women in the labor force. My belief has been that when we talk about Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, many felt that this just has a social connotation to it. But if you look at it from a financial perspective, we know in our country, when you enhance women's participation in the workforce by 48%, we will see that it will effectively contribute $700 billion to our economy. Hence, it means that if you invest in the Beti, you shall definitely have good returns. I am here today also acknowledging what Vasanti ji said about how women are depicted and what role models do we project to our young girls and families at large. And that is why I am happy to here share that for the first time in the history of our country, with the blessings of the Honorable Prime Minister, we are setting up 10 chairs in conjunction with the UGC in the name of women across the country who have distinguished themselves in services in varied fields from academics to literature to performing arts, to additionally now providing chairs for 11 Indian female scientists and technologists in institutions across the country. For the first time in the history of our country, 21 women who have distinguished themselves shall find a permanent chair in their name in universities, in institutions and colleges across the country. And on behalf of the ministry, let me say this, that we take pride in this introduction, because how much can we say through an advertisement? I think more can be done when institutions of learning recognize the contribution of Indian women, and then those institutions become ready reckoners or paths of enlightenment and encouragement with regards to what a woman, especially in India, is capable of. Recently on the National Science Day, there was a dedicated effort made by the Ministry of Science and Technology about women in the field of science and technology. And one of my most favorite stories from the field of science is a very celebrated male Indian scientist, globally recognized. And when a lady walked up to him saying, "I want to work with you, be your student," he said, "You don't have the capacity." She went and got herself, I think, a PhD. And Kamala Soni is one of the names under which we are establishing a chair. The gentleman, I think, who turned her away was C.V. Raman. So there are times where discrimination happens, and for us to presume that discrimination is limited to rural households is doing the cause a great disservice. Today, as our representative from UNICEF highlighted, there are 4 or 5 issues that need to be dealt with if we want to encourage more and more women in the workforce, if we want to encourage not only Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, but Beti ko aage badhao, then those 4 or 5 pillars are: 1, education, and specifically work on getting our girls back into school. I, as a Minister of WCD, can only assure you that we will diligently work with the Ministry of HRD to have a special effort and outreach this particular academic year to ensure the out-of-school girls come back into schools, not only with the help of government, but with the help of communities. The agenda of skill is something that Ms. Herrera spoke about today, and I'm taking from her words. And skill in connecting women to job opportunities, young girls to job opportunities, is something that the government is extremely committed to. Never before was there an assertive statement made that women have the capacity to draw up a business plan, approach a banking institution, and get a loan, and Mudra has done that wonder. In our country, to imagine that 150 million women could go to a bank with a business proposal, get that credit, and 99% of those loans get paid back, that is only possible thanks to the efforts and the leadership skills of Indian women. And those are the inspirations for our Betis. We, in conjunction with the Ministry of Skill, recently held a national conclave, and in that conclave, we have reasserted that special skill set or agenda of women in skills is something that the Ministry of Skills can push forward. I'm happy to now inform the audience that the Ministry of Skills recently held a separate endeavor under their flagship events to ensure that skills for too long have been associated only with the young. 2020 will also see that skills becomes an agenda for women in our country. There has been time and again a conversation around protection, safety and security of women, and especially young girls. I'm grateful that UNICEF recognizes the efforts of the Government of India, led by the Honorable Prime Minister, for the strengthening of the POCSO Act. I'm also happy to share with the audience that for the first time, the Government of India will reach out to every district, every stakeholder, including district officers, IAS or IPS, district judges, district legal bodies, district NGOs, schools, so that we tell everybody कि उनकी जिम्मेदारी protection of children और especially girl child की दृष्टि से क्या है. This is a momentous task, ladies and gentlemen, never done before in the history of our country, and I hope that you step forward in your states, in your districts to support us in this endeavor. We will make sure that rules, procedures and helpline numbers in conjunction with NALSA, in conjunction with NIMHANS and with the Ministry of Home are brought to the notice of every district administration, every school in this country. The government can reach out only so far, but then we rely on the community to take this effort forward. If you can support us in that endeavor, I shall forever be grateful, not only on my behalf, but also on behalf of dedicated officers who have taken it upon themselves to roll out this ambitious project. I am here to also assure the House and those that you can communicate with that for the first time under the leadership of our Prime Minister, we have resolved that under the Nirbhaya Fund, we will set up women's help desk across all police stations in the entire country. There was this presumption that if you build a police station only dedicated and run by women, possibly that is the solution with regards to safety and security. Our endeavor is no matter which principal police station a woman wants to reach out to, she should feel safe in that particular place, and with that intention we hope to roll out. The ministry has also already sanctioned that effort, and I'm hoping that states can help us in rolling it out in an effective way within a given timeline. Again, trafficking of young girls is a matter of concern on which many experts have spoken. We in the ministry are currently working on strengthening, in fact, structures so that those who traffic our children are brought to book. We are going to make sure that the punishment gets stricter. We are going to use technology to ensure that if you traffic a child, let's say in one state like Jharkhand, then move to Chhattisgarh, then move to West Bengal, we will trace you down and ensure that you meet justice under law. We are also happy to share, and the decision has already been taken, and in the month to come, for the first time, the Ministry of Women and Child Development has engaged with NIMHANS to ensure counseling in a structured fashion can be provided across all districts. What I know of being a woman and being the mother of a daughter is this: women don't need a crutch. All they need is an opportunity. And if nobody else believes in them, they believe in themselves enough to take flight. The fact that you all are here today, who have given wings to our daughters, is a fact that we cherish and we bless you for. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
The important announcements made by Union Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani with regard to Beti Bachao Beti Padhao campaign. She said it is also important to Beti Ko Aage Badhao. That's another dimension to Beti Bachao Beti Padhao that she spoke of. She spoke about several decisions that have been taken in the context of empowerment of the girl child and women in India. She said that focus would be on education of the girl child. It will be ensured that girl children are brought back to school. So that is one of the 4 to 5 pillars that she spoke about. Second focus, she said, would be on ensuring job opportunities for the girl child and ensuring that they are skilled. Third, she said that the centre will make sure that all the stakeholders at the district level will be reached out to, and they'll be sensitized about their responsibility towards empowerment of the girl child and women. She said that under the Nirbhaya Fund, it has been decided to have help desks manned by women in all police stations across the country. So this is an extremely important decision that has been taken by the government of India. Besides that, she said that it will be ensured that all women traffickers are brought to book. So some major announcements by Union Women and Child Development Minister in the context of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Let's move on now. The death toll of coronavirus in China has crossed 3,000 with 31 new fatalities, and the total number of confirmed cases jumped to over 80,400, while Chinese President Xi Jinping has called for undiminished vigilance, saying the situation in virus at Wuhan still remains severe despite positive progress. China's National Health Commission said that it received reports of 139 new confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus infection and 31 deaths on Wednesday on the Chinese mainland. All the deaths were in the epicenter of the virus, Hubei province, and its capital Wuhan, which continued to be the ground zero of COVID-19. Also on Wednesday, 143 new suspected cases were reported, while the number of severe cases decreased by 464 to 5,952. The NHC said that adding that 522 people were still suspected of being infected with the virus. The overall confirmed cases on the Chinese mainland have reached 80,409 by the end of Wednesday. This included 3,012 people who have died of the disease, 25,352 patients still undergoing treatment, and 52,000 patients who have been discharged. Well, there's breaking news coming in, and the death warrant has already been issued in the Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case. The Delhi court has issued fresh death warrant against 4 convicts. Fresh death warrant has been issued for the 20th of March, that is around 14 days from now, at 5:30 a.m. They are to be hanged at 5:30 a.m. on 20th March 2020. That's the big news coming in at this point in time. In Nirbhaya case, the Delhi court has issued a fresh death warrant, the 4th one, against the 4 convicts. They are now set to be hanged at 5:30 a.m. on 20th March 2020. After President Ramnath Kovind rejected the mercy plea of the last 4 convicts. So after the constitutional legal remedies of all the 4 convicts have been exhausted, now a Delhi court, the Patiala House Court in Delhi, has issued a fresh death warrant, and that is that all 4 convicts will now be hanged at 5:30 a.m. on the 20th of March. Our correspondent Anil Punia is joining us now. Anil, this is going to be the final death warrant, isn't it?
Yes, of course. This is the last death warrant because all the accused have filed review petition as well as curative petition and finally the mercy petition. The delay tactics was by the defense lawyer that they commonly they not moved any seek their legal remedies, but in the part one accused, one convict filed curative petition, another accused convict filed review petition, and likewise, so far mercy petition is concerned, they separately moved the mercy petition, and time and again they are seeking time. Now the Mukesh, who was the last convict, has exhausted his legal remedy, and President has been rejected the mercy petition. Now there is no legal remedy so far Supreme Court is concerned or the President mercy petition is concerned. Now you can say that it will be the last death warrant, and it will be, jail authority has been directed to execute this death warrant on 20th March 5:30 a.m.
Anil, we've seen in this very case in the past that death warrants have been challenged in court on various pretexts. Can a defense counsel make yet another attempt to challenge this death warrant in the higher courts?
Yes, he argued in the court that he wants to meet their client, and they will file the fresh review second mercy petition, which is the constitutional provision, and court allowed him, but court issued the warrant. Let us see whether this second mercy petition can be considered by the Ministry of Home or concerned presidential President House. This is the option, but I think in this case, because mercy petition have been already declined by the President House, the same ground cannot be considered for the second mercy petition, but he will try definitely so far defense lawyer is concerned. Munmun.
Absolutely, Anil. We've seen that in such cases 14 days is given between the issuance of the death warrant and the hanging. We've seen that in the past also when the earlier death warrants were given, that 14 days time was given. This time you're saying all the constitutional legal remedies are over as far as the second mercy petitioner is concerned. You are saying that that really has no merit because a mercy petition has already been rejected by the president in this case. Having said that, how will the 14 days then be utilized in this case? Is this time given to the convicts to meet their family members? Tell us about this 14-day window.
Yes, this is the constitutional provision in the jail manual also. When the court issued the death warrant, the time has been given in past also to the accused 14 days to meet their family members or to seek any family matters to sort out. That is the purpose. So far, defense lawyer is concerned, during these 14 days, he will try to file the second mercy petition on some other ground, which he has been argued in the court also.
Okay.
But I think that is not going to be considered by any authorities. So this time, this death warrant we can say will be the last death warrant, Munmun.
Right. So one can say for certain that this is going to be the last death warrant. 3 death warrants have been issued earlier. The first one was for the 22nd of January, and after that for the 1st of February, and then the 3rd of March. And now finally for the 20th of March at 5:30 p.m. That's when we expect all 4 convicts in Nirbhaya gang rape murder case to be hanged. We'll keep you posted on this, but for now, there's more news coming in, and that is that Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal has today held a meeting with members of peace committees of violence-affected Northeast District. Talking to media persons, he said that normalcy is returning, the schools are functioning, all the damage is being assessed, and compensation will be released accordingly. Suspended Aam Aadmi Party councillor Tahir Hussain surrendered in Rouse Avenue Court. Hussain has been booked in the murder case of Intelligence Bureau staffer in Northeast Delhi amid violence over the new citizenship law last week. Delhi's ruling Aam Aadmi Party have then suspended him for his alleged involvement in the violence. So now Tahir Hussain has surrendered in Rouse Avenue Court. He's an accused in the death or murder case of IB staffer Ankit Sharma. We'll keep you posted on that as well. Opposition uproar continued in Rajya Sabha with the violence in Northeast Delhi. After Union Health Minister's statement in the upper house, members put forth their views. And immediately after this, opposition members stuck to their demand for discussion over the Delhi violence issue. As pandemonium continued by opposition members, chairman adjourned Rajya Sabha proceedings for the day till tomorrow. So the day saw pandemonium in both houses of parliament. Rajya Sabha was adjourned after the statement of Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan, and there were various suggestions made by some other party members as well. But soon after that, we saw pandemonium and adjournment for the day. Meanwhile, Lok Sabha violence issue was first by opposition parties over the Delhi violence disrupted proceedings for the 4th straight day. Later on, the House was adjourned till 2 p.m. Later on, after 2 p.m. amid ruckus, Lok Sabha also took up the Mineral Laws Amendment Bill 2020 for passage. However, as the opposition continued with their protest, the House was adjourned till 3 p.m. The National Security Advisor Ajit Doval has termed technology as a great enabler and called upon young SPs to embrace technology for better policing. He said technology can change constants into variables and make a huge difference. He was delivering inaugural address of the 3rd Young Superintendents of Police Conference in Gurugram this morning.
Technology is a great enabler which reduces your constants, converts your constants into variables. If you are in your day-to-day working in a police station, if you are beat constable or the people who are having counter-terrorism, who are fighting terrorism or who are in left-wing extremism areas, they face certain problems. They face certain situations. Then they try to find out, are there technological solutions? And they may not be something which is the great technologies. Even some applications, innovations, probably may make it easy.
And now there is a tweet that has been put out by Union Health Minister Dr. Vardhan, and he tweets, for verified, timely and correct coronavirus in India updates, please ensure you follow only official handles given below. He's listed all the official handles of the Ministry of Home Affairs, of himself, that is Dr. Vardhan, of the WHO, Dr. HV Office, PIB India and PIB Hindi. In public interest, take care not to gather or disseminate information that is incorrect. So that is extremely crucial. A tweet being put out by Union Health Minister Dr. Vardhan saying that follow only verified Twitter handles for verified or official information, so that there is no fake news that is spread via social media and otherwise. So if you are on social media, make sure you go to these verified Twitter handles to get verified information on novel coronavirus. India is totally prepared to counter this. So we saw the kind of comprehensive list of measures that was put out by Union Health Minister Dr. Vardhan in both houses of Parliament. Prime Minister himself has been closely monitoring the situation. The Prime Minister's office has been carrying a regular review. It all started from the 25th of January itself. All efforts are being made, all stops have been pulled out to ensure that there is screening at airports, at seaports, at land transit points. And our correspondent Nitendra is joining us for more on this. Nitendra, if you're with us, an extremely important, crucial bit of information being put out by Union Health Minister that only follow official handles on social media. Has listed out the handles for all verified information on coronavirus, so that fake news on this is not spread and panic is not created.
जी बिल्कुल मुनमुन, सबसे बड़ी बात है कि आज सोशल मीडिया सबके पहुंच के अंदर है और हर आदमी इस कोरोना वायरस के बारे में जानकारी चाहता है, क्या सही है क्या नहीं है। इसको लेकर के स्वास्थ्य मंत्री ने एक ट्वीट किया है और उस ट्वीट में जो 5-6 ट्विटर हैंडल दिए हुए हैं, जो ऑफिशियल हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री का और स्वास्थ्य मंत्री डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन का ट्विटर हैंडल है, उनके ऑफिस का ट्विटर हैंडल है, इसके अलावा WHO का और PIB के हिंदी और अंग्रेजी के ट्विटर हैंडल है। उस पे सभी सही इंफॉर्मेशन दी जा रही है कि क्या करें क्या ना करें। कोरोना वायरस से रिलेटेड जितनी भी सरकार की गाइडलाइंस है, ट्रैवल एडवाइजरी है, डूज डोंट है, वो तमाम चीजों को उसी के जरिए आप देखें और उसको फॉलो करें ताकि सही इंफॉर्मेशन मिले, क्योंकि इस वक्त कोरोना वायरस के बारे में हर आदमी को अच्छी इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगी। जागरूक रहेंगे, सतर्क रहेंगे तो इससे बचाव कर पाएंगे और यही वजह है कि सरकार ने इस तरह के प्रयास किए हैं। दूरदर्शन के जरिए भी DD न्यूज की जो ट्विटर हैंडल है उस पे हम लोग सही इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहे हैं। ये तमाम जो वेरीफाइड ट्विटर हैंडल है इनके जरिए ही सभी तरह के सूचनाएं दी जा रही हैं ताकि फेक न्यूज से बच सके। और व्हाट्सएप पे तमाम ऐसे लोगों का कंप्लेन आ रहा है कि उनको फेक न्यूज मिल रही है और सही न्यूज नहीं मिल पा रही है, तो इसको ध्यान रखते हुए स्वास्थ्य मंत्री ने ये जारी किया है।
Nitendra, are efforts being made to put out this risk communication material in regional languages as well on social media? Because we heard what the health minister said. He said that states have been told to put out information on coronavirus, all material on coronavirus, do's and don'ts in regional languages as well. But is social media being tapped also in that context?
बिल्कुल, सरकार की तरफ से जितनी भी क्षेत्रीय भाषा है, रीजनल लैंग्वेज है, उनमें भी इस तरह की जानकारी दी जा रही है। जितनी भी वेरीफाइड ट्विटर अकाउंट है उनके जरिए उन तमाम लैंग्वेज में इसकी जानकारी दी जा रही है। कोरोना वायरस को लेकर के संसद में भी कई सांसदों ने ये सुझाव दिया है कि हर भाषा में, क्षेत्रीय भाषा में इसकी जानकारी दी जाए। उसके मद्देनजर भी स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय पहले से भी जारी कर रहा है और आगे भी जारी करेगा। तो इसको लेकर के कि कोई कंफ्यूजन ना रहे लोगों में। और इसके अलावा बुनमुन एक और एक ट्रैवल एडवाइजरी आई है स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय की तरफ से, जिसे हम दर्शकों से शेयर करना चाहते हैं कि ईरान हो या फिर साउथ कोरिया हो या इटली हो, उसमें पहले से ही वीजा सस्पेंडेड है। लेकिन नई एडवाइजरी में यह बताया गया है कि अगर कोई यात्री पर्यटक वहां से आना चाहेगा तो कोरोना वायरस की निगेटिव का सर्टिफिकेट लेकर के आएगा। संबंधित वहां से जो डेजिग्नेटेड जो अथॉरिटी है स्वास्थ्य के, उनमें उनको सर्टिफिकेट दिखाना अगर तभी इंडिया में एंट्री कर पाएंगे। तो नया ट्रैवल एडवाइजरी जारी किया गया है स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय की तरफ से। कोशिश ये की जा रही है सरकार की तरफ से कि जितने भी प्रभावित देश है वहां से जो लोग आए उनको वहीं पे एयरपोर्ट पे या फिर उनके देश में ही इंश्योर किया जाए कि वो ट्रेवल ना कर सके अगर कोई पॉजिटिव केस है। जिस तरह से इटली के आए लोगों का इस तरह से काफी संख्या में तकरीबन 29 केसेस पॉजिटिव पाए गए भारत में, जिसमें 3 का तो इलाज हो चुका है जो केरल के स्टूडेंट थे। तो निश्चित तौर पे सरकार की ये कोशिश है कि एयरपोर्ट पे ही स्क्रीनिंग करके उसको रोका जाए, कोई भी पॉजिटिव केस भारत में ना आ सके और सही इंफॉर्मेशन लोगों को मिले।
Absolutely. Thank you, Nitendra, for those inputs. Dr. Harshvardhan putting out the official Twitter handles saying that just follow these for official confirmed information. Do not be misled by rumours, by rumour mongers, etc. Thank you, Nitendra, for that. And in Midday Prime, it's now time for news and updates from the world of business. My colleague Shubhendu joins us. Yes, Shubhendu.
Thank you, Mumun. Welcome to Business Prime. The rapid global spread of the novel coronavirus will in fact wipe out any hope for stronger growth in 2020. This is according to the International Monetary Fund, IMF, Managing Director, adding that about 1/3 of the fund's 189 member countries were now affected by this crisis. The fund now expects 2020 global growth will be below the 2.9% rate for 2019, and the revised forecast will be issued in the coming weeks. Earlier, IMF had said that virus could shave about 0.1 percentage points off its January global growth forecast. Meanwhile, fugitive diamond merchant Nirav Modi has filed another plea for bail to be heard by the High Court in London today. Nirav Modi has already been fighting his extradition to India on charges of over nearly $2 billion in PNB fraud and money laundering case. 49-year-old is making his 5th attempt at getting bail on the basis of a change in circumstances. Last week, Nirav Modi appeared via video link from his prison before Judge David Robinson at the Westminster Magistrates Court. And Jet Airways founder Naresh Goyal and a few others have been booked by the Enforcement Directorate in a money laundering case. ED says a criminal case against the former chairman of the airlines has been filed under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The Enforcement Directorate carried out raids at Goyal's premises in Mumbai on Wednesday and also questioned him after filing of the case. Mumbai police FIR pertains to charges of alleged fraud by Goyal and other against Mumbai-based travel company. ED has alleged in the past that the businessman's empire had 19 privately held companies, 5 of which were registered abroad. The agency is probing charges that these firms allegedly carried out doubtful transactions under the guise of selling, distribution and operating expenses. The ED suspects that these expenses of the companies were allegedly booked at fake and high cost, and as a result, they projected huge losses. A full-service carrier, Jet Airways, remember, shut its operations in April last year after running out of cash. Some updates from the market. Equity benchmark Sensex jumped nearly 300 points in the opening session on Thursday, tracking positive cues from global equities as central banks across the globe prepare to combat the economic pressure of the coronavirus outbreak. When we last checked the market updates, BSE Sensex was trading at 38,795, up by about 386 points. NSE also rose 112 points to reach 11,363 points. HUL, HCL, Tech, Tata Steel, Nestle India, TCS and Asian Paints were among some of the top gainers. Investors were hopeful that the collective efforts of global governments and central banks would cushion the economic fallout of coronavirus. The rupee, meanwhile, depreciated marginally to 73.45 against the US dollar in morning sessions today. And with that, we conclude the Business Prime section. It's back to you, Mumun.
Thanks, Shubhendu, for that. And now let's have a look at what's making news across the globe. Former New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg announced that he is withdrawing from the Democratic presidential race on Wednesday. His announcement follows withdrawals from Tom Steyer, Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar. Bloomberg underperformed on Super Tuesday, failing to win anywhere except American Samoa. He is backing former Vice President Joe Biden. The European Commission unveiled a climate law on Wednesday to make the European Union's 2050 net zero emissions target legally binding. The climate law, which needs the approval of the European Parliament and member states, would commit the 27-nation bloc to reducing its net greenhouse gas emissions to zero by 2050. It omits a target that was included in a draft of the law to achieve net removals of greenhouse gases after this date. According to the regulation, 2050 will be an EU-wide goal which raises the possibility that some member states could reduce their emissions to net zero at a later date if other countries decarbonize early. Former UN Secretary General Javier Perez de Cuellar, a Peruvian diplomat who played a crucial role in ending the Iran-Iraq War of 1980 to 1988, has died, the United Nations said in a statement on Wednesday. Perez de Cuellar died in Lima at the age of 100, ending a political career marked by domestic tensions in Peru and peace agreements in Asia and the Middle East. A seasoned diplomat, Perez de Cuellar joined Peru's Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 1940, holding diplomatic posts in Brazil, the UK and the then Soviet Union. In the 1970s, he represented Peru at the United Nations. In 1981, Perez de Cuellar became the United Nations Secretary General, a post he would hold for 2 terms. During his tenure, Perez de Cuellar was involved in talks between Argentina and Britain over the Falkland Islands as well as on the issue of Cyprus. After serving as Secretary General in 1991, Perez de Cuellar returned to Peru, where he ran unsuccessfully against Alberto Fujimori for the presidency in 1995. However, following Fujimori's resignation from government over corruption allegations, he took up the posts of Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister in Peru from November 2000 to July 2001. According to Perez de Cuellar's son, Francisco Perez de Cuellar, the former Secretary General, died at his home in Peru of natural causes. And in sports news, the Indian women's cricket team entered the maiden T20 World Cup final on Thursday after rain washed out the semi-final clash against England in Sydney. There was no reserve day for the semis in the ongoing tournament, and Cricket Australia's request for a reserve day was declined by the International Cricket Council on Wednesday. So India booked a place in the final as they finished their group on top with 4 wins out of 4 games. The last time these two sides met in this competition, India had lost to England by 8 wickets. Let's hope that doesn't happen. In the final, India will now face the winner of the second semi-final between South Africa and Australia at the Sydney Cricket Ground. That's it then in this edition of Midday Prime. Thanks for watching.